This is a Russian assault in Kursk, presumably by the Russian 810th Naval Infantry Brigade, which is boasted by Russian officials as an elite force with some, let's say, interesting dismount behavior. Leave them in the open with no cover. Great strategy. Doesn't look like they were convinced of doing what was asked. They probably said, "We tried. Can we go home now?" If only Ukrainians had more armor to protect them here. A few Bradleys and an Abrams would have decimated these Russian transports and all of that meat inside of them. Recent reports indicate Russian ground assaults are suffering heavy losses due to a lack of proper air and artillery support. Without these protective layers, troops are exposed to targeted counterattacks, particularly from drones and precision artillery. These inadequacies leave units vulnerable in open fields, unable to maneuver or defend against advanced defensive lines. The lack of support has led to alarmingly high casualty rates, further impacting morale and highlighting the challenges of sustaining offensives without adequate cover and strategic coordination. The Ukrainian command sent a unit called Gostry Kartuzy from the Kharkiv region to defend Pokrovsk. The unit representative stated that they are already conducting combat operations near the town of Seladov in this area. Now we will hold the Pokrovsk fortress. The enemy is breaking through from all sides every day, the military said. A group of special forces of the National Guard of Ukraine, namely the Gostry Kartuzy unit, is destroying the invaders with the help of attack drones. At the beginning of the full-scale invasion, the unit's fighters were mostly doing infantry work, storming positions. But they gradually retrained to work with drones. First, they mastered Mavic, and a year ago they started actively using FPV drones. They scout Russian positions and target infantry and equipment using small FPV drones. It all started as a joke, but then we turned into a fully operational combat unit and started recruiting people. "All of us are volunteers," said the unit commander. The most expensive targets destroyed by the Gostry Kartuzy were Russian electronic warfare systems operating in the Svatove direction. In the first days of the new Russian offensive in the Kharkiv region, the unit's operators launched up to 30 to 50 FPV strike drones per day. The US has also been urging China, which maintains a relationship with Pyongyang, to intervene and pressure the North Koreans to pull back, officials said. Sullivan directed the U.S. government to engage the People's Republic of China and to organize an effort to get other countries to reach out to the Chinese as well over our concerns about North Korea sending troops into Russia and the implications of that, a U.S. official told CNN, referring to China. "We have communicated with Beijing about this matter to make clear that we are concerned about it, and that they ought to be concerned about this destabilizing action by two of its neighbors, Russia and North Korea." Western officials are not optimistic, however, that China will intervene with North Korea's plans, the sources said. China has continued to be a critical enabler of Russia's war effort, according to the NATO official, and is still fueling Russia's defense industry with substantial amounts of dual-use goods like microelectronics and machine tools that can be used to build weapons. U.S. lawmakers urge Biden to allow Poland to intercept missiles over Ukraine. Republican Joe Wilson and Democrat Steve Cohen proposed the initiative in a letter to the president, asking for permission for Poland to engage missiles in Ukrainian airspace. Ukraine now produces nearly 20 Bodana self-propelled artillery units per month. Western financial support is fueling this expansion in Ukraine's defense manufacturing, says President Zelensky. Bodana is the first Ukrainian self-propelled artillery system designed for the NATO standard 155mm caliber. The unit reaches a speed of 80 kilometers per hour and fires at a maximum range of 60 kilometers. Ukraine has received only 10% of the aid package approved by the U.S. Congress in 2024. "This isn't funny. The issue isn't money, it's bureaucracy and logistics," said Zelensky.
And if you got 10% from all the package, been even voted already. You know, it's not funny, but it's
Russia attacked a residential neighborhood in the city of Kharkiv late in the evening, killing a 12-year-old boy and injuring at least 34 people, Kharkiv Oblast Governor Ola Sinyhubov said. A 15-year-old boy is still trapped under the rubble, Sinyhubov added. 3 people were rescued by first responders while the search and rescue operation continues. Initially, it was reported that 2 children had been killed, but this was later revised. According to preliminary data, the attack was carried out with a high-explosive FAB-500 bomb, Syniehubov said. Partners see what happens every day. In these circumstances, every delayed decision on their part means dozens or even hundreds more Russian bombs used against Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky posted on X following the attack. Their decisions are the lives of our people. That is why we must stop Russia together and do so with all possible force. Citizens of Latvia purchased and transferred drones to the soldiers of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine. The press service of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine reported on this and published relevant videos and photos. Ukrainian intelligence officers received various types of drones, including strike drones, which were purchased with donations from concerned Latvians. The charity fundraising was initiated by a public figure and volunteer, Janis Slaidinš, Major of the Armed Forces of Latvia. It was he who brought and handed over the drones to Ukrainian intelligence officers.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.